We're going to talk about de-stressing, acupuncture. I know you've never tried it before, but
I haven't tried
it's
it.
something that you really need to open your mind about because it works.
It involves needles like this. Look at this stuff.
Right.
It looks like it hurts. Yes, I have, quite frankly, been somewhat skeptical and I had never signed up for it, but you swear by it. I know a lot of people swear by it.
I went for back pain. My daughter actually went because she couldn't sleep well at night. A lot of people use acupuncture as an alternative to taking medicine. They don't want to take medicine.
All right, we have an expert.
Dr. Richard Firshein is here. He has a beautiful place right here on the Upper East Side,
yes,
where you do acupuncture and vitamins, natural ways of trying to heal the body.
Right. Well, this is, it's very exciting to be here. Thank you. First of all, acupuncture is a treatment that has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for thousands of years. So people should be comfortable with the idea that this is something that is used and it has actually been tested, not only according to Eastern practices, but according to Western medical practice. We've actually had research that shows it reduces stress.
We've got two specimens for you. They're lying down like cadavers right now. This is Mike Woods, Duke Castiglione over there. Shirtless, as usual. He never wears a shirt when he's not on TV. Listen, doctor, before you start sticking these guys, and that's going to be fun, what's the science behind it? How does it work? What are you doing when you stick a needle in somebody? What is actually being accomplished?
Well, according to traditional Chinese medicine, there are energy points throughout the body that get blocked. And when this energy is blocked, it leads to chronic problems. Chronic problems that could be anything from asthma, insomnia, or chronic pain, and even problems that these gentlemen may be facing, day-to-day problems with stress due to, overworking or exhaustion.
How long does it take?
Overworking is not an issue, I can tell you that.
How long does it? They resemble those remarks.
I was just checking.
Doc, how long does the acupuncture take? Like, do you need like an hour session or do you need several sessions?
Yeah, generally, we recommend about 20 to 30 minutes per session. We do about 6 sessions to see how a patient responds. And then over time, patients may come in typically for tune-ups. So you might come in for one treatment. I've had patients that come in particularly for problems like pain. They get a single acupuncture treatment and it resolves. But for the most part, people need additional therapy.
Can we stick these guys up?
Yeah,
now?
let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is...
Should they be on their stomachs, or what do you think, Doc?
Well, what we can do is first find out. Whenever we do an evaluation, we want to find out what the particular concerns are. So the first thing to do is to ask the patient, how are you and what brings you in today?
I'm doing well, thank you very much, except I have bad problems sleeping and sometimes a little low back issue.
Okay, so what we'd want to do is if we can just lift up the shirt here.
With pleasure.
Whoa, what? What was that? Hey!
Let me take these microphone backs from you. Okay.
And
I'm moving his microphones. Okay, go
Is that
ahead.
what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'd want to localize, and particularly for pain problems, what we want to do is localize the area where the pain is. For someone who is coming in for a particular problem, let's say it would be a stress-related problem, there are different points that we might use, and we can use those as well. But the acupuncture needles, I think it's important to show that, they're each wrapped in individual foil,
sanitary,
sterile.
Yeah, you're not using a needle that you're going to use on Duke, per se, right?
Right. And what you do is, it may be hard to focus in on the needles, but they're very, very fine, very thin. And when they're inserted, there's an actual slight electrical charge that's released when the needle is placed into the body, particularly transference even from the practitioner to the patient.
We're getting to the good part.
So
here it goes.
This would be the first needle that we place in, and you'll see that, there was barely any reaction.
Mike, did that hurt?
No, I could feel it, but no.
Right, it's a slight
hurt?
sensation. But it really doesn't hurt, and that needles are different than the ones you typically use when you get, let's say, blood drawn, because they're needles when you get your blood drawn are beveled, and these have rounded edges, so they're very fine. That's why they go in so easily. And the needles are placed, in this case, this would be the area that he has the most concern in. Sometimes we'll heat the needles up using something called moxa. I also brought an electric stimulator, which we can put on afterwards, and that can actually improve blood flow, stimulate the muscle, and help to relax the area so that fatigue and that tension goes away.
How many needles do you usually have to put in there?
Well, usually we'll put in, let's say, 2 to 4 in a particular area. I've had patients where we might put in 15, 20, or more needles.
How long?
But in generally about 20 minutes, and patients tolerate it well. Most people actually fall asleep while they're getting the treatment because you think that the needles would be bothersome, but because they're releasing all that energy and that toxic energy that we carry, patients often fall asleep.
Very impressive.
Should we take care of...
So I think we should do that, and I think we should also put in a couple of stress needles for them as well.
Very good.
So
Before
we'll
we go,
a particular area.
Let's give Mike Woods a wedgie. He's asking for Don't worry, Mike. All right, Duke's next.
Don't you have to wear underwear to get that?
All right.
Moving right along.
Let me set my chest.
Okay.
What's that?
My chest is bothering me.
All right, this is Duke's cue. He's very proud of his chest. And quite frankly, it's impressive.
Stand up.
So
All
we
right.
want to turn around.
All right, beefcake.
Okay.
All right, so what are we doing?
So we want to find out where you, obviously
My
you
wife's
work
going to
out.
kill me, baby.
You work out. Where are you experiencing?
Sorry.
Well, I didn't even see what
You were a Chippendale dancer for 4 seconds.
you work out. Where do you experience the strain and stress?
Right here in my upper chest.
Okay, so we want to work.
I can't believe I'm doing this.
In my pectoral region.
In my pecs.
All right, so what we wanted to have you do is lie down on your
Lately,
back.
they're not defined adequately.
Yes. Come on, A-Cup, you said have lay down. Huh?
So want to have
Say.
want to have you lay down, maybe a little more comfortably, or down here.
Goodness gracious, the
Okay.
abs too.
I mean, he's got like an 18-pack, not even a 6-pack.
All right, so we'll put the needles. These are the points we're going to be using in the upper area of the chest.
Mike Wood School of Journalism. Take off your shirt.
I'll hold this for you. I want you to relax.
Okay,
Go
just
ahead.
relax. It's part of de-stressing. A lot of times what we'll have patients do when they come in is, get into a comfortable state, do some breathing exercises, do some visual imagery, which is helpful, to see themselves, in a very comfortable area. It might be on a river or a beach, and do something that relaxes them. So take some nice deep breaths in through your nose, blow out through your mouth, and visualize something very comfortable. And we're
Did it
gonna
hurt,
put in-
Duke?
No.
And we're going to put needles into these. These are lung points that we're using. They're not particularly related in a sense to his problem, but when we deal with pain, we deal with the areas that there's discomfort. When we're dealing with a particular problem, like asthma, for instance, these would be typical points that we would use.
So people come for you for helping with asthma and stress
Right.
and back pain and migraines.
Everything. Migraines, very important. This is part of an overall comprehensive integrative medicine approach. Someone comes into the office, you do a complete medical evaluation. It's not that you're just having them sit down and go through acupuncture. You want to make sure you're really treating someone for the problem and not masking a symptom. So the first thing you do is a complete medical exam. The second thing you do is you look for natural ways to treat the problem. Acupuncture is a great way to do that because it doesn't involve any drugs, it doesn't involve medications, it's safe. It's effective. There are very, very few side effects ever reported for acupuncture. And the studies are showing that it works. So we're very excited about that.
How you feeling, handsome?
I feel great.
So I'll also put in a couple of stress points.
I'm resenting this body so much. Stick one in his nipple. Is that region ever?
No, we actually avoid that area.
That's a piercing. That's something else.
So
Drop
this
the
is
hook.
a very typical point that we use for stress. Also, we're talking about migraines.
Right.
So right about this area, it's called the thenar eminence. We're going to just place a little needle there.
Okay.
And it's part of a 4 needle points that I like to use that are called the 4 gates. I'm going to take your arm here. And the other 2 are in the foot, but these are very effective.
See the feet?
And these are large intestine 4. These are points that are very, very important there. We say 4 gates because it's critical for energy flow in the body. And these are 2 of them. So he's got these 2 energy points. We're working on his
So, Doc, you know what we'll do? Why don't you continue working on them? We have Mike Epps, who's here.
Yeah, he's here. We got to get the needles out of Mike Woods. He's got to do the weather.
He's gotta
Can
do
anybody?
what?
Can a layman take the needles out? I prefer
Well,
you do it.
we prefer that a physician,
An experienced person.
but they're very simple actually to remove, and they're very simple.
You got to get Mike because he's got
All
some.
right. Duke, you stay here.
We're gonna take these out. The other thing we do is we'll put a little electricity in, but
Maybe we'll do that
we'll
with
twirl that.
Duke.
Yes, and you can twirl these a little bit, and that adds a little bit of extra energy to it. Okay, so you should be super relaxed, and all that pain should be gone.
All right.
We hate to
long
bring
does
this
that
up, big boy, but it's time for you to go do
You got to do the weather. Both you guys
mad.
got to get back to the gym. You seem to live there.
I guess I got to put my mics back in, huh?
on.
There we
Let's
go.
go.
Hey,
Back to work.
doctor, that was
you.
really
Dr.
interesting stuff.
Firshein,
Pleasure.
we're going to put the information on our website,
Great.
how you can reach Dr. Firshein.